In January of 2013, the Seagull project performed the premiere of their production of Chekhov's The Seagull in the Falls at Act Theatre. The project's roots came from a desire to do justice to a great piece of literature. But soon, The Seagull became the first piece in a growing repertory built around the 4 great plays of Anton Chekhov, all to be performed and studied for years by a group of professional actors.
They're in love with each other, and tonight their souls will unite in a single, sublime, artistic expression. And your soul and mine deliver even meat.
A year later, with the help of a grant provided by the U.S. government, we would be invited to perform our production at the historic Ilkhom Theater in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, becoming the first American company to perform there in the process.
Tell us where we are.
We are in New York City.
Where are we
JFK.
going?
We are going to Moscow.
I'm going away like you to Moscow. We'll see each other there.
We're at the Novotel Hotel. We just arrived in Moscow.
In the evening, when you walk out of your hotel, the streets are teeming with people. You drift through the crowd with no destination, aimlessly, randomly, here, there. You live with it, merge with it in spirit, and soon you begin to believe that a universal soul indeed is possible.
After traveling nearly 2 days straight, the company arrived in Tashkent.
Welcome to Uzbekistan. David, how was customs?
Great. It's 5:15. We went through those doors at 3:15. So
Two solid hours.
2 good hours of standing in line and jockeying for position. Short people.
But we're here and the sun is coming up slowly. Beautiful blue sky. The wonderful Ira. Hello. Friendship and peace. All right, so here we are. We just got to our hotel room. We just met the neighbors.
Hi. We're gonna be rowdy.
Friendly gentleman over there. Hello, CT. Yeah. Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm really good. It's good to breathe fresh air after 36 hours of air travel.
This is our beautiful view of some kind of parkish forest with a stadium in the middle of it. Our lovely courtyard below. And inside, we have our deluxury setup going on in here.
The Ilkhom Theater was only 100 feet from our hotel, buried underground in an old Soviet structure. The day after our arrival, we were given our first tour.
Лестница всегда была мраморной.
These were always marble.
Даже на склад картошки лестница была мраморной.
Founded in 1976 by the late Mark Weil, the Ilkhom is one of the only places in Tashkent to see art without the veil of censorship. Its repertory is quite bold for the area, its physical and visual language well-defined and vibrant, verging on the world of an expressionistic clown. The walls are covered with all those who have given a piece of their life to the theater, especially its founding artistic director, who was murdered in cold blood in 2007. So John, we just had our first tour of the Ilkhom, and we saw the theater we'll be performing our Seagull in. How do you feel about the space? How do you feel about the theater as a whole?
You know, I walked in there and it felt a little like a church. It just feels like it's got a ton of history in it. We got to walk in. There were technicians all around doing the job that they've clearly been doing and perfecting for years and years. It felt like a privilege to be in the space. It made me nervous and excited in a really beautiful way. But the first thing that I felt about it was rich with history, and you felt it immediately walking in. It sort of sunk in. There's sort of a damp warmth inside of it. these stairs that tear down all over the place create these really dynamic, exciting opportunities for staging. So I think all of us just took a huge deep breath and said, oh my God, we get to perform here. And we're vibrating pretty high right now.
We saw shows our first 2 nights in Uzbekistan and quickly jumped into preparations for the festival. As part of our half of the Festival of American Culture, members of the Seagull project led workshops on a variety of topics over the course of 17 days, from producing independent theater to acting technique and training.
It's very difficult to pay attention. Lots of things call for our attention. In our minds, there are lots of things calling for our attention.
Я заметил левый глаз.
Я заметила щетину.
Dance on Bones.
A new script by Dave White.
During this time, we were also rehearsing for our Seagull, as well as for what the Ilkhom refers to as an improvisation of a brand new American play by Baltimore playwright Dave White called Dance on Bones. The improvisation is nearly a full production, and ours even came equipped with an Uzbek jazz quartet. We were thrilled to have the playwright join us for the process.
I've never written a play like this. It's as wild and free as my writing has ever been. But when I saw the play in production, I realized that it's working in ways that I never would have expected it to work. It's communicating in ways that are beyond what my initial impression would be. And what I was really thrilled about was that it grew in ways that were unexpected. It clarified for me that I'm actually on the path of something that may actually be really important, and it may be a new voice for me, it may be a new technique for me.
We did a reading of Dance on Bones.
Yeah, how was that?
And we were just told that our voices were beautiful.
I say because I like these voices when they read text, poetry text. It's so beautiful and delicious. Yes, I don't understand all, but I enjoy because it's trance. Music, voice, plastic, so beautiful.
Thank you.
And Tyler and Gavin, it's cool.
Oh.
And I just enjoyed the plastic, the voices, and the music of the language. I just tried to not understand, tried to listen.
Yes.
And
to feel it.
Pictures and to feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How do you feel about having all these Americans here now?
I feel like it's long overdue.
Good. Do you think that they're fitting in? What do you think about how we're dealing with the Uzbek people?
I think it's tremendous. They are the most generous, selfless people, and they accept anyone and everyone.
Unfortunately, Uzbekistan is not a country without problems. Their president, Islam Karimov, is known for hefty human rights violations, especially those directed at the country's prominent Muslim population. Violations hit their climax with the Andijan massacre in 2005, in which hundreds of protesters were shot and killed by the Uzbek government. The event led to the U.S. removal of their primary air base in the war with Afghanistan, which was housed in southern Uzbekistan.
There is no video of what happened next, but there is sound. The demonstrators moved out of the square, sticking together in blocks. Rain was falling, evening gathering in.
We got to explore the country's ancient history with a trip to the classical capital of the area, Samarkand. Samarkand was once the centerpiece of a huge empire ruled by Timur the Great. Timur was a patron of the arts and science, and Samarkand blossomed during the 14th century. Before and after his reign, however, Samarkand was a landscape of perpetual change, conquered again and again by the likes of Peter the Great, Genghis Khan, and the Russians in the 19th century and beyond. It has always been a crossroad for cultures and a hub along the Silk Road. Our one day there gave us a glimpse into the heart of the country, an ancient culture still prominent in the souls of Uzbekistan's citizens today. Having received our dose of Uzbek culture, we put on a rock concert of American music from the 60s and 70s, with both members of the Seagull project and the Tashkent community in the band. Finally, after 2 weeks of the festival and many rehearsals, we opened our Seagull with only a couple days left in our journey. 2 days of tech led up to the performance, where we worked with the Ilkhom designers to completely redesign the show. Everything had been discussed, but light and sound had to be built in during tech, with the use of a translator. In the end, their stark design showed strongly, helping the Seagull project to re-examine and mold their own work and aesthetic. After a final performance of the Seagull, the Ilkhom treated us all to a real Russian zakouski. Food, vodka, and laughter filled the room. Toasts were made the whole night long.
But
what is actually really important is that exchange of energy that's taken place over the last couple of years. It's that thing that unites us. And that thing for which theater in fact exists. If the theater doesn't unite us, what's the point? Thanks to everyone for these 2 weeks. They have been bright, they have been interesting, and full of life.
That night, we boarded a red-eye for another long journey, this time to our home in Seattle. We left the Ilkhom a closer company, but also one that was fuller and more open than we'd ever been. We had exchanged hopes, meals, and ideas with people halfway across the globe. Seems we need to do it again so we can keep bringing the experiences home.